Hi there, this is Matt Andrzejewski, and I am going to briefly talk about in this video how content will be delivered on D2L for basic statistical methods fall of 2017. So this is the D2L site for this particular course, Site 215, and you can see the layout is pretty much like yours, hopefully. Um, However, you might not see a lot of things that I'm showing here because as instructor of the course, I get to see a lot more things than you get to see. So um, here is the news pages, and I got a little note there. If we go to the content section of the course, you can see that the course is almost completely laid out in terms of units. Um, and so just to go through some other things, here's the introduction. These are links to videos. Here's the administration with some syllabi and some other things. But I wanted to focus mainly on these units and how the course is going to proceed that way. Each unit begins with an assignment. If you click on the assignment, you'll see a list of things that you have to do with links. So the first unit, I'm asking you to read chapter 1, then I'm asking you to review a PowerPoint lecture. There is also a video on that lecture, so you can see the PowerPoint, but then you can also hear me talk about the terms and the concepts in that particular PowerPoint. There's also a lecture on measurement, and then a video on measurement, and then I ask you to complete Unit 1 in the workbook, and then complete Problem Set 1, and so on. These are, again, as I said, this is a PowerPoint, this is a video. This is a video of me talking about that PowerPoint or lecturing on that PowerPoint. This is a lecture. You can hear me talking about the PowerPoint that's contained in this measurement and scales. So that's going to be the basic format of the units. The workbook, as if we click on that, it'll bring you to a PDF of the workbook, the first unit in the workbook. And you can see here, this is the actual workbook unit. It's an introduction to Excel. You can see that it starts with a list of objectives. These are things that I would like you to be able to do when you finish the unit. So this is an introduction to Excel. There are screen captures, there's explanations of what things do, and then along the way there are exercises and questions for you to ponder and think about and even answer. There are sometimes often tables right in the workbook that are really really bonus, really good references so if you want to know how to bring something to an exponent using Excel, you can use the caret symbol, which is Shift 6, and so on. Then there's also some questions for you to practice. If you'd like to know how Excel is working and what it's doing, this is a chart for you to practice in. It also has some questions about some funny answers that you might get. Here's some more practice. You can see that I tried to give you an example and an answer, and then I'd like you to work through filling in. This is good practice for you to fill in. Here's even more practice, and so on. Here's an explanation of Excel functions and so on. So each unit there will be a workbook like this, a workbook unit like this. Here's an end of unit checklist and so on. For each unit, you will see that there is a workbook unit. Here's workbook unit 2. Again, you can see the objectives are set up front. You can download these. Here is, not in the first unit, but in the second unit, this is an on the board exercise. This is an exercise that we would do on the board in class. I have a video of this, but then here's some more work to be done. So this is the practical matters of the unit and how to practice it. Okay, going back to unit 1 real quick. If you want some demonstrations or some help, there's actually a video of me working through some of the questions in the unit. Okay, let's start working on some of the units in the lab workbook. In the student workbook for Psych 215. And I got it open here in a PDF version. I'm going to sort of take you through a little bit of the details and tell you. So you don't need to hear me talk on YouTube, but there are those videos. In addition, there are a problem set to complete for every unit, and this is a Word document. Most students, what they do is they download this document, then type their answers right into the document, and then this is a graded assignment that will be submitted to the Dropbox. And problem set 1 will be submitted here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You can see that we skip a problem set for Unit 6. That's because this coincides with your midterm, and therefore I wanted to give you a break during that week, so there's no problem set for Unit 6. I grade these assignments and give you feedback on them, and I try to do that in a pretty timely fashion. Okay. The last item in every unit is something I call a check for understanding. And this is a 10-item quiz on the basic concepts of the unit that were presented. In order for you to proceed through the course, you have to get at least 8 out of 10 on this quiz. This quiz does not count toward your grade, and you can take it as many times as you want. But if you open up your D2L right now, you're not going to see this Unit 2 or Unit 3 or Unit 4 or Unit 5 or whatever, because you haven't, as a student in this course, passed the check for understanding of Unit 1. To proceed to Unit 2, you have to pass this check for understanding, what I refer to as a CFU, with an 8 out of 10. In order to see the content of Unit 3, you have to pass the check for understanding of Unit 2. In order to see the content of Unit 4, you're going to have to pass the check for understanding for Unit 3. In order to see the content for Unit 5, you're going to have to, and so on and so forth. Okay? So that is sometimes of a hang-up. You can take these CFUs as many times as you want. They're always available, and they're great practice. This is what we call a formative assessment in learning theory. These are practice assessments that will prepare you for the exam, but also demonstrate that you have a basic understanding of the material. And in order to proceed through this class, I think you really need that. Also in this, you'll see that as I will post later on, there's going to be 2 exams, each with 2 parts. Ignore the dates. I haven't updated the dates yet, but that's how those will work. Okay, so again, just to review, your assignment for Unit 1 is listed here. You can look at the basic terminology PowerPoint. If you want to do that, you should do that. You can also hear me lecture. If I click on this, it will bring me to YouTube, and I will lecture on those basic terms. Some basic terminology of statistics. Okay, in order to start this class. Okay, and the same goes for the measurement and scales. The measurement and scales video. Here's the workbook to work through. Here's the video. If you get hung up on things, it can help you go into that. And then the problem set is your graded assignment. First problem set is due on Tuesday at 8:30 a.m. If we look at the calendar, just so you can see, what we have is we're going to have, and I will change this to full schedule. You can see that nearly every week on Tuesday we have Monday mornings, not Tuesdays. You have your problem sets due. I will try to get them back to you by Wednesday or so with feedback, so you're moving through the course pretty quickly. So, right, assignment. Here's the PowerPoint. Here's the video. Here's the PowerPoint. Here's the video. Here's the workbook unit to complete. If you need help, you can watch the video, you complete the problem set and submit it, then you pass the check for understanding and the next unit opens up. You can work through this course as quickly as you'd like, but these due dates when unit ends are pretty firm. But if you want to get ahead of a unit or two, that's up to you. I may not be as timely grading your problem sets as I would be in the unit that the rest of the classes are currently in, but these dates you can certainly move ahead. If you have any questions, please give me a holler, drop me an email, and I will respond as quickly as possible. Talk to you soon.